Hello, welcome back, Boxer1 here, and today we will finally be reviewing the Justifier from 2023, I believe it is, and it is a very big ship from Star Wars, The Bad Batch, and it has 5 figures, 5 very good figures, I might add, and one little side build as well. So let's get into that with the figures first. The first figure here, being Hunter, is the most common out of all the figures because it appears in 2 sets, that being the Bad Batch shuttle as well. He looks pretty cool. He's the exact same as the Bad Batch shuttle, which I just reviewed earlier as well. You can see the same face, and he has the printed backpack, and he carries a knife. No pistol or anything, just a knife. So, pretty cool figure, same as before, and he also comes with his hairpiece that you can exchange. And you can see what that looks like right there. Next up, we can see Omega, which has handcuffs, and of course, nice good prints on her, as you can see, and then there's also some back printing. She uses the kid legs, not the teenage legs, but the kid legs, and you can see she has 2 faces, one happier, one less happy. She's of course exclusive to the set and is a pretty good figure here as well. Moving on to the bad guys, first we have Toto 360. It is a pretty cool little droid. I have to angle it a little so the print doesn't have the glare on it, but you can kind of see how that looks. And it is a one-piece mold, and is a very nice mold, actually. Very cool little guy, actually. Pretty cool. That was very repetitive. Next up, we have a character that isn't exclusive to the set, Fennec Shan. And she has the orange helmet that is like a dual mold, I guess. Or I guess it's just printed on there, actually. I'm not sure if it's dual molded or anything. But it is a pretty cool helmet. I will say that. And, yeah. She's pretty... She came in 2 sets, is what I meant to say. She came in the, I think, Moff Gideon's cruiser as well. And she has that face like that, and then that. So you can see the double side face. She also carries the credit box that they would have had, and she has a printed comma, or waist cape thing. She also comes with a pistol. Pretty cool figure, I like it. Also, she comes with the exchangeable hairpiece as well. So that looks pretty nice as well. Finally, me and probably yours favorite figure in the set, Cad Bane, with that new respirator piece that he has right there, rebreather thing, and that looks pretty cool. He has some nice printing on him, and he looks like a gunfighter, of course, because he is. Printed waist cape, of course, and yeah, he also has some back printing as well. And his face, he doesn't have a double-sided face, obviously, because you can see right there, but he has a pretty nice face. Very cool figure. He comes with twin pistols as well, so he's a dual wielder. Anyway, moving on from the figures, we have this small little side build before we get into the ship, with this little, I forget what it's called, but the Minarch, maybe? From the, if you remember episode, I think it was episode 5 that had the Minarch. And then there's these 3 crates with the logo on it. I think that's a Republic logo, though. Not a Imperial one. And then this little carton of whatever that stuff is. Pretty cool. Little side build. Finally, we are getting into the main part of the set, the actual ship. And if it'll not be blurry, you can see how big this thing is. And it's a pretty big build, actually. Way bigger than I thought it would be. And yeah, overall, I think it's a great build. But let's show it off and you'll get to see how it actually looks. We'll start at the front and work our way back. At the front, we have the cockpit, which can open, and you can see inside there is a space for one minifigure to sit, and then there is a prison cell in the back with the red ray shield. Now, these things fell out of their little crates here, but they're supposed to be in here. Oops. So, yeah, you can see there's thermal detonators, and then a lightsaber hilt. So, pretty cool there. You can see the control panels at the front, and there's little clips for him to put his blasters, that being Cad Bane. And then he has small, well, not small, but, battery died for the Flash. We'll get back on that. And we are back with Flash. You can see the sticker on the side as I was going to try and describe, but these are all stickered with the transparent stickers on the front. And then we have another same mirrored one on the other side. I put Cad Bane in there and put his blasters on the wall, and you can kind of see what it looks like with him in there, which you can't really see him that well, but you can see him slightly. But obviously my camera is blurry, as always, so you can't see a thing. Goodness, it is really blurry today. Anyway, let's get on to the rest of the ship going up. There are some stickered pieces on either side, and I realize I put this one on upside down and the wrong way. Oops. But, yeah, that's one problem with me. I'm stupid. Anyway, there are these big guns on either side, and there are the exact same, but mirror image, as always. And they have spring-loaded shooters, which can fire just by you pressing this. There's no fancy mechanism. And that one flew halfway across the room, as always. But under here, there's storage for another spring-loaded shooter missile. And then there's also where the landing gear is, which I'll show you how that works, but I'll just show you what the landing gear looks like. And as you can see, this easily falls off. That's one of my problems with this set. I'll talk about that later at the end. But they are mirror imaged on either side. And I'll give you a little look on the side there, and then a bit on the underside, which isn't as tiled off or anything like that. But going up here, we have some detailing on the top, going on to the back wings, which has some greebling, as always, very nice greebling. And then there's just some open area, which is where this big Technic mechanism works with this, which is the main back engine. And you can see how that looks. It looks pretty cool. But this would be the landed position, with it down all the way like that. But if you want it to be in flight, it can actually go up. And you may ask, why is there a need for these Technic things here? Well, if you flip it down, you can see the landing gear at the front is like that. I shot the other spring-load shooter by accident, but if you flip it up, the landing gear also goes up. And that's done through very complex gear mechanism in the wings that, if you don't do it correctly, you may have to disassemble half the ship. Definitely not speaking from experience. But it does work, and it looks great. As you can see, there's another ski on the back for this ship, and those 4 gray pieces up there also help. But you can see the back engine now, and it looks pretty good. Obviously, a very nice build. But we are not quite done. If you flip it over to the underside, there is a small little door which you can load your cargo onto. And I also just use this to store the extra hair pieces, because I guess I can. So that will look good. And then I also wanted to show you, oops, half the stuff fell out. That's a problem. But you can put a figure in the little detention center there. But that is what it looks like with the character in the detention center, and you can see him through the red tinted transparent piece. Oops. But yeah, that's basically it for the ship's build. And it is a pretty good build. I do have a couple things that I will say about it. But let's actually give my opinion. My opinion is that this is a very good build. And it has some very good features and is very just well built overall. I do have a few things I don't like about it. First of all, these are extremely flimsy, with these massive pieces being on only 2 small hinges. If they were those like higher tension hinges, it would be fine, but since they're on these lower tension like clips, they easily pop off with very, very minimal pressure or use. That's one thing. This also pops off easily, but that's fine. That doesn't fall off as easily. Another problem, when this released, it was $170, which is a crazy price point for a Star Wars set like this. But yeah, I overall think it's a really good build, besides those 2 little gripes. So I'd say probably, with the amazing figures, an 8 out of 10, maybe. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Because overall, I think it's pretty good. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time, where we will be sorting through 14 pounds of bulk, because yard sale. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.